It's been a hot minute since I have filmed anything. The last 2 videos that I put out were filmed earlier in the year, so now I'm out of backlog material, and in the time that I have been away from filming, I actually was away from filming, so I'm not sure why I did this. Also, I did these myself, and I'm obsessed with them. They're incredible. My ring is fucking sideways. Love. Anyway, I love a good bubblegum pink. My original idea for this channel would be that I read something and then I make a video about it. And then the next book I read, just a video per book discussing each book. Now, I've been reading a lot more, and my job has gotten to a point where my brain is able to manage my work and listening to an audiobook and not faltering on taking information from either side or from either like input. So I've been audiobooking like crazy. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books that I have read but haven't talked to you about. So I think I'm at like 14 for the year, and my goal typically for the entire year is 15, and I'm ahead of pace. So I don't know what happened to me, like how I got here, but so I'm gonna start with a few like random non-book things that I got recently that I'm excited about, and then I'll get into the books. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Let's get into it. Well, this angle feels better. So, my hair has been navy blue for a long time, and I was using like the Ionic brand. Wavy Navy was the color, and it was for curly hair, but my hair is maybe like a 2B on its most textured day. So, anyway, but it worked wonderfully, and it was a really dark, like dark blue, looked black in anywhere but the sunlight or like a bright light directly over me. And then one day my husband was like, have you ever thought about a different color? And I was like, yeah, actually that's a great idea, let's do that. So I've started doing the Ion Color Brilliance brand, and this is violet. Yeah, just violet, but it's for dark tones. Well, would it be a crime to just focus on the thing in front of you instead of trying to go behind it? Okay. So yeah, this is what I bought. So I'm gonna touch my hair up today. That's what it is currently. The roots, like my roots are barely growing out, but the ends are fading, but still this bothers me. The ends are fading a bit, so they look like a reddish brown, and I hate that. So I'm gonna try and do this today. For Prime Day, like Amazon Prime Day deals from like the 8th to the 11th of this month, I got a waiver, I guess is what you call it. Not the one that beeps. I don't know why that freaks me out a little bit. Probably because I know it freaks my dog out. He doesn't like beeping sounds. But I got this one, and I'll put a picture here of the listing from Amazon, and I'll link it below. Incredible. It's like a 3-barreled curling iron type thing where you click, like you push the lever at the bottom and it opens up, but there's 3 barrels, and then there's like a back piece that's divoted 3 different ways, and I love that thing. Like, it makes long hair waving really, really easy. It's enjoyable. It's not hard to handle at all. It gets a lot of area, like surface area of your hair, like a lot of your hair done at once, and I love that. I'm struggling again because I haven't filmed in a minute to not look at the viewfinder. Not sure why. Yeah, the waiver is incredible. There's still a little bit of it, maybe not so much on that side. You can barely see a little bit of like the waviness still in some pieces of my hair. I wash my hair once every like week and a half, so it's held up considerably well. Like the fact that this is a little wave right here and not completely straight. It's incredible, love it. So I went to Sally Beauty this morning to get the hair coloring, and I've been buying like this Kiss product, like gel nail polish. The ones that have this like bottle style. It's like a super like matte feeling. It's incredible. It's a really good sensory experience. But I obviously love like my favorite go-to nail is like either a light color. Oh my god, is this nail crooked? It is. Well, I've just got that finger off now. But no, I've gotten like 6 colors from them in this line, and I love a pink nail. And I have this kind of pink on right now, and this is like a bright neon pink. Why? You know what'd be cool is if the camera focused on this. Ugh, love. Okay, so this is like what screams summer to me, is like a bright hot neon pink, and it's probably because it gives me the vibes of like those like 2017, 2018 Victoria's Secret swimsuit tops that had like the neon pink and orange with like the black trim and everything like going through them with like designs. So good. Such a good color scheme for summer. I was at Walmart yesterday to get some groceries and a couple of extra things for our pets, and they have all the school supplies out. I picked these up because I happened across them, and I've been seeing stuff on TikTok that I wanted to get of like the gel rollerball pins like we used to use in middle school, like where we would draw all over each other. And I love these like Papermate pens. They're like absolutely goated in the pen world. They're wonderful, but these are metallics. So there's like this orangey brown color, pink, love. There's two blues, and I think I have problems with like purple and blue color blindness, so they kind of, I don't do well with them. But I think this is green. These I think are both blue. It'd be so sick if this camera would just focus normally. So this is green. I think this is like a normal blue, which means this would have to be purple. Teal? I cannot tell. And I don't know why they would just give you two of the same color when it's not like that with the others, but okay. So I tested these. I love these, and I'm so excited for these. Like, I have a daily planner at work, and I cannot wait to just write my day out in like a glitter gel pen. Also from Amazon Prime Day, I got a second weighted heating pad, and I love it. I'm not even cold. It just brings me a sense of like relief, I guess. I'm not great at taking care of myself as a chronically ill person, and I got this because by chance I fell asleep on my other weighted heating pad in bed one night, and I laid it across my pillow so that the back of my neck and like the tops of my shoulders, that area, were on it, and it has a 2-hour auto shut off. And so I laid down and I fell asleep on it, and then I woke up at like 2 a.m. or maybe 3 a.m. sorry, and it was off obviously, so I turned it back on, and I get up at 5 every day, and so I turned it on at 3. It had just turned off when my alarm went off, and I sat up, and the pain in my neck and my back were gone. And I was like, what is this sensation? There's never a day that I wake up and I don't have pain. So when I woke up and I didn't have any pain in one of the most painful spots in my body, I was kind of freaked out, but also really relieved, and it was great. And I realized that maybe I should be doing that randomly to like other parts of my body or other like painful areas. Then I got to the point where I was carrying my heating pad up and downstairs to use it upstairs in the afternoon and evening, downstairs at night, and then have to remember to bring it back upstairs for the morning while I was getting ready for work. So I bought a second one, not the same one, but a second one from Amazon, and it's great. I love it. I use it every night. I just put it on my lap. It makes me comfortable. I'm also always cold. Like, I run cold temperatured, so it doesn't suck to just have like a little warm space that I can put my hands or my feet or whatever and just feel better. Oh, I have started a cross-stitch series, a cross-stitch art series, and I found this bundle on Etsy of like all the patterns. So they're like mini, like tiny. It's like 2 by 2.5 inches, I think, and they're different cross stitches for different like art pieces. You probably can't tell it yet, but this one is going to be The Creation of Adam by Michelangelo. So we're getting there. We're not quite close, but we're getting there. So I will make sure to bring it back and show you the final result. My husband is a researcher, and at a vendor fair he got me this little like lunch pail, and it's like just bigger than my hand, so it's the perfect spot to like fit the little hoop that I have the art on, the little kit that has like my needle, my scissors, whatever, and then the little bag of my yarn for this specific project. And I have like, I think there's like 20 different patterns or whatever in this PDF that I bought, so I'm set for a while. I love to cross stitch, and I'm just really excited about the art of it. It's really relaxing now that I'm out of school and I'm not like devoting time to cross stitching that I could be writing a paper or studying or something, reading what I'm not in the mood to read. Which, by the way, I graduated with a degree. The degree should be here any time now. I got my cap and gown and 2 cords, I think, I'm not sure anyway, but I want to get pictures in that somewhere. It's still way too hot, and technically my like graduation ceremony date, like my conferment was July 1st, so I'm good to say that I have the degree, but the ceremony is December 13th, which is absolutely perfect. If you know anything about me, I'm a huge Swiftie, and that is her birthday. So I'm getting my master's in English literature on Taylor Swift's birthday. And it couldn't have played out more perfectly. I'm hydrated. I'm not. That was a lie. I have liquids to drink. I haven't had water in a minute, and I should. I've had sparkling water, but for some reason it doesn't feel like it counts towards hydration. But White Peach Red Bull, they're gonna have to pry the last one of these out of my cold dead hands because it's a summer edition. Unless they give it a different name and make it a regular, I buy like 12 at a time. So I dread the day that this is gone. But this, my Pepsi Zero, and I'm ready to talk to you about the stack of books that is, the top one is right here. It's above the camera. Yeah, I have some updates. So let's talk about books. So what I'm thinking is that today I'll give you a quick look of what I've been reading lately. And then over the next like couple of weeks, I'll post individual videos on some of these, not every single one, but on some of these, because wow, do I have thoughts. Thoughts, impressions, all the things. It's just way too much to try and talk about in one video. But I do just want to go ahead and share with you what I've read. In the event you want to read along, or like read it and then join me in the discussion when I post the single video for that book. The last thing that I talked to you guys about was Martyr, in depth at least. Since Martyr, I have read Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, and I thought it was adorable. I loved it. I loved Marcellus and his point of view. I loved it that we didn't know everything about the situation, the plot, what was happening, everything. It was like just enjoying the scenery, but there was still an air of mystery, but not stressful mystery. Just like low-key family gossip is how it felt. That's what it was. So I liked it. I liked it a lot. I gave it 5 stars, and let me just be clear, despite what my reading journal legend says about my star rating system, if I give something 5 stars, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I liked it a lot. Other times I give something 5 stars and it's the best thing I've ever read. It's completely goated in my book, and that's it. I'm happy to differentiate from the two. I didn't see anything wrong with this book. I would love to see a second like follow-up book where it's more from the new Octopus's perspective, because they got a new girl Octopus after Marcellus was released and passed away in the ocean. I thought it was really cute. Great book. I don't have a physical copy of it. I'm not sure that I will. If I happen upon it somewhere, yeah, I'll pick it up. But also, both of my eyes are twitching like crazy, and I don't know if you can see that. Oh, by the way, my glasses have little cat ears on them. I love them. It's so cute. And then I read, and I've told you a little about this in my last video where I was like sharing my recent buys and bookish musings. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. This is book 1, and my dumbass didn't know in the last, in the last video I think I hinted at it because it was well before the posting of that video that I read the book. I read this not knowing that it was a trilogy. So at the end of the book I found out that there was another book and a third book, and I didn't even think they were out yet. So I finished this and it was like, do you want to move on to this audiobook of this book? And I was like, it's out? What do you mean? Like, of course I want to move on to it. I had started 1984 by George Orwell after I finished this one, before I really realized that like I could move on to this, because I loved this so much that I was certain like the woman could rewrite the phone book and I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna have a real good goddamn time reading these books. But I started this and I felt really obligated to finish it, so I did. I listened to the entire audiobook almost begrudgingly. I just don't know how much writing by men I can read. It's not great. I also have George Orwell's Why I Write, because I was, I guess, really on a kick of supporting my local bookstore. I really don't care why he writes. It's thin and I'll try to get through it, but I remember starting this when I first got it and was like, oh, this is like 100 pages. It's fine. I'll just get through this real quick. It's like 120 pages. I started and I was like, I really don't have any interest in finding out why this man felt compelled to write forever ago. But yeah, it's important. What he wrote about is important. The death of democracy is scary as fuck. Fascism is absolutely ridiculous. I think the audiobook narrator for this book that was chosen, Theo Solomon, I think it was his name, was really, really good casting because his voice really catered to like the panicky, paranoid, like terrified main character that we have in here. Yeah, I gave this 3 stars, I think. I was not overwhelmed by it in the way that I really hoped I would be. I love a good revolution. I can't wait for one to happen in this fucking country. Thought I would like it a lot more than I did, but I didn't. So I will not be reading Animal Farm because for some reason it grosses me out, and I feel like not sure if you can see that, but Billy's trying to make a flyover to land on my head again, so maybe that'll work. Maybe he'll get the guts up. I do have, if you've seen my videos, I'm sorry, in the past, I talked about Fahrenheit 451 as though George Orwell had written it, and I completely blended George Orwell and Ray Bradbury together. But I do have that, and I do intend to read that soon, along with the 3 books that I started reading in like January, which was Mammoth by Eva Baltazar, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and then, like I said, I intend to read this again because I read this in early high school and I just really couldn't give a flying fuck. Anyway, so yeah, 3 stars, not incredible, but okay, I guess. Remarkably Bright Creatures, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, 1984, Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands, and then Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. And I cannot get enough of it. I think about it almost every week. Or almost every day of the week. That was insulting. Almost every day of the week in some capacity. If I see, like I'm walking to a scooter or a bus stop to get to work and I see like a cute little flower garden, I think of her. I see her in the breeze, in the trees. I see her in the grass and the flowers. I am so thankful that Heather Fawcett is alive and well and writing, because first of all, this is beautiful. It's also like a matte texture, like finished cover. So nice. All 3 of them are. I ordered the first one as a paperback, which I may have shown you at the time. Yeah, they're wonderful. They have their own shelf in my house. Right up there, they all stand like, and I kind of hate it for the book, but they all just kind of stand like this and they're staggered, so. Looks great, I love it. Blue Sisters is supposed to have its own video coming up. We read this for book club and it was great, loved it. Probably will still get its own video or like a paired video of this and another book. I read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This bitch has me in a chokehold. I remember when I was younger, my mom's next door neighbor slash friend was obsessed, and she was like in her 50s when I'm talking about like this time of her life. She has since passed away, which is very sad. She was obsessed with Nicholas Sparks, and I was like, damn, this man's writing of like a love story has this bitch down bad for his writing. There's not a book that I've read by this woman that has a flaw. Not a flaw. I couldn't find one if my life depended on it. Gun to my head, there's none. Shoot me. I can't. They're awesome, and like everything I've read by her that I now own, so The Four Winds, The Great Alone, The Nightingale, The Women. I bought a paperback copy of The Women, and it was terrible, so I returned it. The hardcover is like 2 inches taller than all the paperbacks I have for that book. I don't know what the universe has against The Women by Kristen Hanna being published or like released or distributed in the same paperback font, format, whatever. And you know I love a good accent panel. You know I do, and there it is. The cover, accent panel, matches the font. It's incredible. But yeah, I just need all of her books to be released in this format. So now I'm also on like a hunt to read all of her books. There's 2 out of all of them that are out of print, but the rest of them, I'm gonna try to get through it, and I hope that her writing wasn't terrible when she first started. But I guess I'll see, and I'll let you know. So I read The Light Between Oceans by M.L. Stedman. And this book, I don't know if you can see this, around the edges of the page, or pages, it's like yellowing. I bought this book in like 2012. I think that may have been when it came out too. So let me just do a little look-see here. 2012. I bought this my senior year of high school, which was 2012. And I've had this copy ever since then and just never read it. And I've remembered the synopsis all of my life. And every time I see it, I'm just like, you know, whatever. Oh my gosh, wow, like I still need to read that. It's 2025 and I just got to it, which is crazy. And it was really good. It was a really good book. I enjoyed everything about it. What did I give it? Oh, all of the Emily Wilde books, I gave a 5-star. It's incredible. I can't look away from it. The Nightingale was 5 stars, obviously. The Women, I gave 5 stars. The Women by Kristen Hanna. 5 stars. The Enchanted April was a book that was recommended by one of the book club members. She gave me like 3 or 4 recommendations. It got thrown into the poll and then it was chosen. And it was very like in my head like Society Jane Austen-y. I did not give it a fair shot because I was kind of listening to it in the background while I was at work during a really stressful day. But I got through it. It wasn't terrible. And it was a really good discussion. Like it was a fun book club meeting that we all had when we went to go meet up and talk about it. I gave The Enchanted April 3 stars because I just am not a big, I appreciate Jane Austen for what she is, for who she is and what she's done for like the literary landscape over time. But I'm just not a big fan of the writing. Movies of this I can handle. I love Bridgerton, I love like Emma, all the adaptations. Like only for Pride and Prejudice, only the Keira Knightley version can only be that. So I gave The Enchanted April 3 stars. I was not super impressed by it, but it was okay. I'm just really glad that the other book club members really enjoyed it. The Light Between Oceans, like I said, it had no problems with me. I thought it was great. I gave it 5 stars. It's not goated. It's not like an all-time favorite, but I would recommend it. Our next book club pick was a recommendation that I got from Jack Edwards, also here on YouTube. Madonna in a Fur Coat by Sabahat Ali. This was interesting. The very beginning of like setting up the story and the structure of the book I thought was very interesting and well done. But I'm a sucker for like mainstream situations like that. Do not start with me. If you're gonna come over here, but don't sit up there and chirp every 10 seconds like a bad fire detector battery. Or like a like a smoke detector with a bad battery. The very beginning, setting up the story structure and the plot was good. The middle was a male experiencing the male loneliness epidemic. And then the last 2 chapters are some of the best writing I've seen in my entire life. Like it's close to martyr level writing only in the last 2 chapters. I'll have to look and see on my phone. I took pictures of those pages and then I copied the text out of them and made it one long post and put it in the book club group so that everybody could read it and experience that writing without having to know the rest of the book. It was kind of independent from that. Like it can stand that way. This is also a good example, I think, of every time that we have a meeting, we read a book, whoever comes to the meeting or whoever read the book, even if you couldn't make it, I will take the time to like find an art or something, whether it's from Pinterest or I buy the art from somebody on Etsy as like a digital download and then I print them. I make these little mementos that people can take home with them when they've attended a book club. And like some of the members put these on their fridge and keep it. They put it in the book if they display the book and they like it a lot, whatever. Some people just put it in the book and put it back on the shelf. That's fine too. So I'll find something related to the story, and if there's very slim pickings, then you just have to find what's best out of that. So I found an alternate like art that someone did on Pinterest and then printed this out, and then I just stamp it with our logo, and then the page turns anonymous. I had a custom stamp made and then just give it to them when we get there. And again, I'm not selling these, it's just for like them to have like a little reminder of like, oh, I went to this book club meeting and I had a good time, whatever. After Madonna in a Fur Coat, I started the audiobook for I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. And I have never been as confused and intrigued and irritated by a book, its concept, the writing, an annoying character, a lack of stability. The experience during the book was very interesting and compared very differently to my opinion after I finished the book. And then each of those compared to my opinion of everything after I got on Reddit to see what the fuck anyone else thought happened. And I really like what it stands for. And I'm hoping this is one of the books that will be getting a deep dive video in the near future. Then I started the audiobook for this month for June's book club July's book club pick. Hello. July's book club pick, which is Against the Loveless World by Susan Abulhawa. I don't have a physical copy. I'm doing the audiobook here. I like it a lot. I think I'm 70% of the way through the book, so I have 3 hours left. So I will most likely talk about that in detail as well. I've liked it a lot. I have not yet read Circe by Madeline Miller. It's on my TBR shelf, TBR list. It's right over here as the paperback copy. But I went shopping with a friend after I got paid one day, and we went to Barnes & Noble, and I saw this copy of Circe. Mind you, I've not read the book. All I know is that she's a witch and people don't like it. I saw this book, and to be fair, I have read The Song of Achilles and I loved it so much that I almost trust anything else that she would have written, which is crazy because I've not read a second Madeline Miller book yet to know the comparison of like whether it's as good and as on par as The Song of Achilles was. I found this like edition of Circe. That's okay, so it's a hardcover. There's no dust jacket, love that. This is the back of it. The little embossings here are like shiny-esque, not foil. Sprayed edges are orange, love that, love the black and orange. And then the inside, shut up. It is just so visually appealing. I love it. I can't get enough of it. And then this is the back. The front had the map. This is the back. And I just think it's so nice. Like it makes my eyes really happy, honestly. I am sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I haven't finished this. I haven't even picked it back up since then. I don't know why. I just haven't. There's nothing wrong with it. I just haven't. And then there are 3 books on my up next, which I guess technically is also on top of Red Rising, The Name of the Wind, and Mammoth. But I really want to read these soon. This book I've talked about before, I think, and I called it like a sensory wonderland for me. It is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. This will be done via audiobook, but I picked this up also after I got paid one day because I love buying books. I love going into the store and buying them. But I found this little bookmark. It's metal and really thin, and it's a little cat. And his tail hooks over the top of the page. And I think he's adorable. And it's such poor timing that I got him as I was going straight into fucking audiobook city. Which, by the way, I'm going back and forth throughout the month between Ever And, which is like Scribd's audiobook situation, Hoopla from the library, Spotify Premium, and I got like a 3-month Audible deal where it's like 12 cents a month or something for 3 months. And I haven't checked in on that. I'm not a fan of Audible, just based on how they operate with like the credit system, and I don't know why. It's not super different from the other ones. I just am not a fan of Audible. It's icky to me for some reason, and if I figure it out, I'll let you know, but I don't know currently. And then the last 2 that I want to read, which certainly will be coming up soon because they are so quick and short, is Pew by Catherine Lacey. This was a recommendation from Allison Pages, and I still have not read it, and something tells me that I'm gonna have the same experience with this as I have with this. I had the book forever, heard about this since like pandemic time, and still haven't read it. Picked up a copy on sale at Barnes & Noble. It was on like a buy one get one table, or buy one get one half off table, whatever. It's literally, the sticker is on the cover. It's so dumb. Buy one get one 50% off. And then Clear by Karis Davies. And I mentioned before that I think this is interesting because it's like a wave and then there's like a teapot in the middle of this like giant wave. So I'm interested to see how these go, and I will let you know. I'll probably throw some short books together in the same video, and then the longer ones will get separate videos. Like right now I'm thinking I'll finish this, or these 2, and then I'm not reading Circe soon. Maybe this year, maybe not this year, honestly. I'm not vibing with this right now. Eventually, yes, I'll get back to it. Determined to get through this, and this up next. This and this, and touching on the last, like the beginning and the end of this will probably all be one video. This I think deserves its own video, but may not get it. Like I might put it with something else that I read, or I might give it its own and it'll just be a shorter video. Not sure. And then this and The Women will probably have a video together, and it can just be like a bit of a longer one. This was incredible. I thought about this. I still think about this. Like we're going through the whole like immigration thing and like alligator Alcatraz and people being snatched off the street or killed or detained for horrible reasons. And this is literally about the Holocaust. And this bitch writes a character so well that it's like that's your sibling that she's writing about. And by the time the book is over, it's like, well, I never knew I had this sister this whole fucking time. I think I'm done talking about these guys. Just go read them. If you like cozy fantasy, why are you still here? Go, run, expeditiously acquire and listen. You don't have to read it. The listening experience was incredible. Elle Potter and Michael Dodds are in my narrator hall of fame forever. Last thing, I did start this. 1,308 pages, and I am on page 10. I started this a few days ago. It's War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy, and I am determined to get through this, but I'm tracking it by 100 pages. So every 100 pages, I will come back and let you know how it's going. If I read 100 pages of this per month, it'll be a little over a year before we get to talk about the whole thing. But that's okay, it's a giant tome, and I have time. I hope. Knock on wood. I love you guys, and I will see you soon with some individual like chat videos about these books. But until then, have fun, be safe, and I will see you next time. Bye!